Hello all. So we're continuing our conversation about Chapter 5, Organizing and Delegating Work. This is part 2. Here we go. Line authority is the responsibility to make decisions and issue orders down the chain of command. Operations and marketing are usually line departments, but some organizations also organize financial activities as line departments. Line managers are primarily responsible for achieving the organization's objectives, and their staff or team follows the directives that the line manager develops to achieve those objectives. If we go back to our conversation about the SHS coaches, they are line managers because they are responsible for leading their team to victory. Staff authority, on the other hand, is the responsibility to advise and assist other personnel. Human resources, public relations, and management information systems are almost always staff departments. The line departments are internal customers of the staff departments. Therefore, the two types of departments have a collaborative partnership. When the SHS AD hires a new coach, the AD gets help from the HR department, which places the coaching job in newspapers and online and collects the applications. But HR doesn't select the new coach. The principal line manager does. The staff's primary role is to advise and assist, but situations occur in which they can give orders to line personnel. Functional authority is the right of staff personnel to issue orders to line personnel in established areas of responsibility. The SHS financial manager can't tell the AD which coach to hire, but she has authority to require the AD to stay within the budget and fill out the proper paperwork when hiring the new coach. The AD can tell the coaches how to coach, but the financial manager cannot. Staff managers may have dual staff and line authority. For example, public relations staff managers advise and assist all departments in their organization. However, they also have line authority within their own departments and issue orders or align function to their groups. The SHS financial manager can tell the bookkeepers what to do. There are also two types of staff. General staff that work for only one manager, often called assistant to. They help the manager in any way needed. And specialized staff help anyone in the organization who needs it within their scope of authority. The SHS principal has an assistant principal who primarily takes care of discipline. The AD has no assistant, though many colleges do have assistant ADs, but can get help from the school's administrative assistants who help all school staff as needed. These structures differ in where the authority to make the important decision resides. With centralized authority, important decisions are made by top managers. With decentralized authority, important decisions are made by middle and first level managers. Micromanagement is a term used to describe managers who closely watch their employees to make sure they are following standard procedures and rules, and they don't let employees make decisions without their approval. The trend for top managers is to decentralize authority and accountability. Employees are given authority to determine how they do their jobs and make decisions. Authority is actually on a continuum, and most organizations function within a blend of centralized and decentralized authority, with the exception of very small companies, which tend to be very centralized. Most organizations lie somewhere between the two extremes. Finding the right balance between the two, the one that serves the business's environmental contingencies and its business model best, leads to success. For example, production and sales are often decentralized, whereas finance and labor relations are very centralized to provide uniformity and control to make sure that you're not stepping outside of your bounds. The formal authority structures that define working relationships between the organization's members and their jobs are illustrated in organizational charts. An organization chart lays out the organization's management hierarchy and departments and their working relationships. As you can see here in figure 5.3, the boxes represent positions in the organization, and the lines indicate the reporting relationships and lines of formal communication. The level of management hierarchy, the organization chart shows the top-down hierarchy structure by the levels of management. The Board of Regents and President are the top two levels of management. The Vice Presidents are middle-level management, and department managers, such as athletic facilities managers, are first-level management. The chart shows the supervisory reporting relationship. As you follow the lines in figure 3, you will see that the president reports to the Board of Regents. The vice presidents report to the president, and the department managers report to the vice presidents. The division and type of work, the chart divides the university by product by indicating different academic areas such as health sciences and graduate programs. The university is also organized by functional areas such as finance and HR, or human relations. The organization chart also shows the business of the firm is divided into work units, commonly called departments. The university's athletic departments are under the control of two people, the vice president for administration, which isn't shown here, and the chief of staff. The departments are athletic administration, athletic facilities, men's intercollegiate athletics, women's intercollegiate athletics, and trademark and licensing. The work performed by organizations is grouped into functional departments, which are further grouped into jobs to accomplish objectives. Job design is the process of combining the tasks that each employee is responsible for completing. How jobs are designed affects job satisfaction and productivity. As you'll learn in this section, jobs can be simple and contain very few tasks, or they can be expanded and contain many tasks to include teamwork. There is a job characteristics model that can be used to design jobs. Job simplification makes jobs more specialized and efficient by working smarter, not necessarily harder. Thus, job designers break a job into workflow steps to improve performance. Job designers take 3 approaches to eliminate. To do that, does the task have to be done at all? And if not, don't do it. Some sports stores have stopped requiring a paper signature for small credit card sales, or have gone all electronic to speed up electronic times. By combining tasks, you often save time. You make one trip to the mailroom at the end of the day instead of several throughout the day, if it makes sense. You can also change sequence. Changing the order of tasks can save time. Start your day getting important tasks done and save the email until later when you are tired if you can. Job expansion is another way of designing jobs, and it makes jobs less specialized in order to empower workers and make them more productive. The trend is to give employees more job autonomy. Jobs can be expanded through job rotation, job enlargement, and job enrichment. In this approach, people perform different jobs for a set period of time with job rotation. For example, employees making sneakers on a New Balance assembly line could rotate so that they get to work on different parts. Many large firms have training programs that rotate management trainees through various departments. Cross-training is related to job rotation. With cross-training, staff members learn to perform different jobs so they can fill in when someone is on break, out sick, or on vacation. This also increases skills, which makes people more valuable to the organization. This approach to job design adds more tasks in order to provide variety. We're talking about job enlargement. For example, the New Balance sneaker workers could perform 4 tasks instead of just 2. However, only adding more simple tasks to an already simple job is not a great motivator. Job enrichment builds motivators into a job to make it more interesting and challenging. The goal is to engage employees on the job so that they are satisfied at work, while also making them more productive. To enrich jobs, many firms are offering flexible work arrangements, such as telecommuting or working from home, working remotely, flex time, individualizing starting and finishing times, compressed work weeks, which are 4 to 10-hour days per week, and job sharing, having 2 employees split one job. A simple way to enrich jobs, which any sport manager can do, is to delegate more variety and responsibility to employees. Today, the trend is to design jobs for work teams, or rather to allow teams to redesign members' jobs. The trend is to empower teams to cross-train and to determine which members perform which roles. Teamwork is as vital for successful companies as it is for successful NFL teams. Moving to work teams is a form of job enrichment. The 2 common types are integrated teams and self-managed teams. With traditional work groups, the manager assigns tasks and supervises the work. With integrated work teams, the manager is usually also a team member sharing leadership. Teams are assigned a number of tasks by the manager, and the team itself then assigns specific tasks to members and oversees the work, with the manager having the final say on decisions. These teams are assigned an objective. We're talking about self-managed teams now. These teams are assigned an objective, and the team plans, organizes, leads, and controls the work in order to achieve that objective. Self-managed teams operate without a designated manager. Everyone on the team functions as both manager and worker. Teams select their own members and evaluate each other's performance and have the authority to discipline and fire members of the team. The job characteristics model is something that was developed by Richard Hackman and Greg Oldman and provides a complex conceptual framework for designing enriched jobs. The job characteristic model is commonly implemented by people trained to use it effectively. The job characteristics model addresses core job dimensions, critical psychological states, and employees' growth needs. Their need to grow on the job to improve the quality of working life for employees and productivity for the organization. As shown here in figure 5.6, 5 core dimensions determine a job's personal outcomes: quality of working life for employees and work outcomes, productivity for the organization. By enhancing each dimension, skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback, you can increase both outcomes. As the critical psychological states, which is experience meaningfulness of work, experience responsibility for work, and knowledge of the results for work, which are developed through the 5 core dimensions, improve. So do the job's personal and work outcomes. So you have high internal work motivation, high quality work performance, high satisfaction with the work, low absenteeism, and turnover. As a person's growth needs, strength determines his or her interest, and improving the 5 core dimensions. Note that if a person is not interested in enriching the job, the JCM will fail to increase personal and work outcomes. We examine needs and motivation in more detail in Chapter 11. This shows how this JCM process works. Let's move from realizing how you must manage within an organization structure and design to learning how to organize yourself by setting priorities to achieve important things and delegating to get work done through employees. It's important to realize that productivity results aren't based on how busy you are or how many hours you work. Productivity comes from managers effectively setting priorities and delegating work. As we've already noted, setting priorities is an important aspect of organizing anything, a department, a job, yourself. At any given time, you must perform several tasks. Prioritizing makes this easier and more successful, and a to-do list is a good place to begin. List the task you need to do, and then rate each one by importance. Then focus on accomplishing only one task at a time by its priority. To begin, as a manager, ask yourself 3 yes or no questions. Number 1, do I need to be personally involved? When you are the only one who can do the task, you must be involved. But if your answer here is no, you don't need to answer the remaining questions for this task because you can delegate it to an employee. Is this task my responsibility, or will it affect the department or finances of my department? You are responsible for completing certain managerial tasks yourself, overseeing the performance of your department, and staying within your budget. Is quick action needed or for a deadline? Do you need to work on this activity right now, or can it wait? Time is relative, but you need to start soon enough to meet the deadline. This may sound obvious, but people often miss deadlines simply because they start too late. So it bears repeating. Don't procrastinate. Get that homework done. Start on it now. Start early and get it done. When you delegate, you assign others the responsibility for accomplishing a task and give them the authority to meet the objective within the resources and with the resources to complete the task. Remember that you can delegate responsibility and authority, but as a sport manager, you are held accountable for the actions of your employees. When delegating, you are coaching others to do the tasks. Directing others to do the work that is part of their job description is not delegating. Delegating is giving others tasks that are not part of their regular jobs. The delegated task may become a part of their job, or it may be a one-time task. So why should you delegate? As a coach and sport manager, in most cases, you can't be a player. Your job is to get the work done by delegating it to athletes and employees. When more tasks are accomplished, productivity rises. Face it, there are tasks that others can do better than you can. Anyway, so why not delegate those tasks to improve performance? Also, delegating gives you time to perform your high priority tasks. And when you're away from the job, the work still gets done. Delegating challenges others and improves their self-esteem. It trains them for future opportunities and eases the stress and burden on you. Wise delegation of work enriches jobs and improves personal and work outcomes. To help stop corruption, the IOC delegated separate tasks to different committees and internal agents to enable them to check on each other. And this is our chapter summary. You want to be able to explain how flat organizations and tall organizations differ. You should be able to describe liaisons, integrators, and boundary roles, as well as be able to differentiate between formal and informal authority. Know how to explain the 4 levels of authority and describe the relationship between line and staff authority. You should also be able to describe organization charts, explain how internal departmentalization and external departmentalization differ, how similarities and differences between matrix and divisional departmentalization happens, and how job simplification and job expansion differ, as well as the job characteristics model and what it is used for. Set priorities and delegate. All right, that's all I have for today. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.